They're not names, brother. They're attributes. Even Allah.
So
Allah,
being the most merciful is not one of his.
The word Allah, even that's not his name. That's again an attribute.
Allah's
But anyway,
attribute.
so let's move on from there. So let's go back to Moses now, yeah?
Oh, no,
Because now
this is
we've
important.
understood.
We haven't
then.
understood anything. Now I'm more confused than I was before. So you said that Allah is not his name; that's an attribute of his. Okay.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
when it calls him the most gracious, the most merciful, are those are not
attributes.
names of his?
No, they're attributes.
Whew, this is tough, man. Being a Muslim. Hold on, I actually got to write this down. Actually, 2025, right? I got to write this down in my 2025 book. Allah is not Allah's name.
Hi, amazing viewers. Welcome back to Religious Insight, and on today's episode of our usual debate with Godlogic, the Muslim came to argue that Allah cannot be a father without a partner. Let's find out exactly what happened in this video.
I see you like struggling with these people, and they struggle.
Do you see it? I would like a coherent person that I can speak to, a coherent person that I could talk to as an adult, as a thinking adult. That's what I. That's what I
remember. Logic. You're asking a question that requires some logical. A logical level, right? Some people don't have that level where they can speak logically and answer your question and be consistent. Correct? Sometimes.
Correct.
So that's the difference. That's the difference. But let me ask you something. Prove Moses was a Muslim.
Yeah.
Do you actually believe this question is not loaded by itself?
No.
Because you defining what Muslim is, since you're using a term that is referring from the Quran, so it's actually a circular argument.
Oh no, it's not a circular argument. If you have a definition of what a Muslim is, that's fine.
So
You get that from the Quran.
Yes. What is the definition?
Yeah, and then we see whether or not Moses fit the bill. That's all.
Okay. So what is it? So where did you get the definition from Muslim?
You said the Quran, right?
Yeah, but that's question. You're asking us to use a definition that is defined in the Quran. Is it applicable? Is it found in the previous revelations? Right.
You don't have to get it from the Quran per se. Whatever a Muslim is, I'll go with whatever you say a Muslim is.
Okay. So
and usually I get that a Muslim is.
I agree with you. So let's agree on it. What is a Muslim?
Mm-hmm. Usually I get that a Muslim is one who submits their will to Allah.
Very good. Okay. So indeed, from the previous revelations, Moses was a Muslim, according to this definition.
He wasn't.
He was.
Well, okay. So when you say that, when you're talking about Allah, you're talking about a specific concept of God, right?
Of course.
Right. So he's not an idol. He's not a creation or anything like that. He has specific characteristics, a specific identity.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So what you have to prove or demonstrate is that Moses, even from the previous scriptures, I say, that Moses believed in Allah specifically of the Quran, that concept of God.
But the Quran
if you believe and submitted to that, then
but the Quran did not exist. Correct.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Allah did not. The Quran did not exist at that time. Correct.
Correct. However, the Quran not existing at that time doesn't mean that Moses wouldn't have the same concept of God that the Quran communicates.
Very good. I like that. Okay. So I'm just trying to get the question clearly. So you're asking me to prove that Moses believed in a God that has the same characteristics than Allah, correct?
Yep, the same characteristics and identity as Allah.
Okay. So how many characteristics for you would be needed? All of them or some of them? 19%, 80%?
It can't be any contradictory, I'll say that.
Any contradictory. Wow, that's a lot to ask.
It can't be any contradictory characteristics.
Okay. So would you and I, would we acknowledge the commonalities? Can we acknowledge them first?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, the God of Abraham, correct? The Quran claims the God of Abraham. Moses claims that he worshipped the God of Abraham, correct?
Yeah, but then again, that's still along the, with saying that we haven't gone anywhere, because still the God of Abraham has a specific identity, and you're saying that that's Allah who has a specific identity, we would have to see if that matches.
Yeah, I'm saying that here is the first characteristic met. You said all of them have to be met, right? So am I meeting the minimum requirement first, or the first requirement that the God of Abraham is Allah, as Allah claims to be the God of Abraham, correct?
Yeah, the question is, who is that God of Abraham? That's what this all boils down to.
Yeah. Okay. So let's not delay ourselves. We agree that there are some characteristics that are common between the God of the God of the Old Testament and the God of the Quran, right? There are some.
Like what? Like what?
Both are claiming to be the God of Abraham, correct?
Okay. Okay.
There are one, right?
One what?
One God.
Okay.
Okay. All the attributes of God, we agree on them.
Like
all the attributes of God, we agree on them, right? Correct?
Like what?
Like omniscient, all knowing, all knowledgeable. No idols, right? He doesn't like images in the creation, correct? So here we agree on some minimum resemblances are there. Now, I want to ask you, where are they differing?
Well, a lot of places.
Let's focus on those, right?
Okay, so Allah specifically, like, here's a big one. He has no children in any way, shape, or form. Would you agree?
Allah has no children. What do you mean whatsoever form? That's
in any way. In any, so he's not a father. He's not a father in any sense.
Are there many senses to have to be a father?
Yes.
Okay, so when for example God speaks truth, does he speak only in senses, or he speaks about the truth?
Well, there's context. The truth is truth, but truth also has context as well. So
for example, if Allah defines
you could be an adoptive father. You can be a biological father.
Yeah, I agree with you.
A father and just that masculine male representative in someone's life, and you could be a father to them in that way. So there's many senses in which you can be a father.
But does Allah, does God, you and I, does God delay him or entertain himself with a partial sense of the word?
That's what I'm asking about Allah.
No.
Is Allah, that's what
Allah,
I'm asking.
Yeah, my Allah believes in truth, and when he uses a word, it defines him. It's not partially defined, it's who he is. Right?
Good. So the answer is no.
Yeah. So therefore he cannot be a true father, right?
He can't be a true father. All right. Yes. So Allah is not a father.
Sure.
And so that is a core characteristic that disagrees with Moses.
No, I'll tell you what. This is my argument. Now, finally, I'm preparing my argument, right? So I don't believe the God of Abraham is a true father. That's my claim.
Well, the God of Abraham claims to be a true father according to Moses.
So what is a true father? Remember, I would hold on you all the characteristics for you to be a father.
A true father is a father. You can be a father in any sense and truly be a father in any.
That's where we're disagreeing, brother.
Oh, you do? Okay. Is an adoptive father a true father?
No.
Well,
he doesn't meet all the characteristics.
I think that's. Hold on, servant. Hold on a second. You just said that an adoptive father is not a true father, and so when someone adopts a child, does that child receive that father's name?
Love, protection, name. Correct. I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay. And do they receive an inheritance from that person?
We could.
So they're eligible for an inheritance, and they receive the name of that parent who adopted them, which, in every true sense, makes them the child of that person. Although not biologically, but legally, they are truly. That's a
truly. What do you mean truly? I mean truly. What do you truly? You know that minimum requirement is not met, and you say use the word truly. Why?
What do you mean the requirement is not met?
So if we say something, if someone we say is truly a father, right? But someone else has a biological responsibility.
That's not the only way to be a father. We just went over how you can adopt a father.
Not the point.
Adopt a son.
Not my point.
Okay.
If someone actually is biologically related to the child, right? Can we call him a true father or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say it's fair to call someone else who doesn't have a biological relation between him, and yet he provides, he supports, he gives inheritance, a true father? No.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Well, how would I differentiate this? Because
no worries. So it looks like we disagree on.
Yes.
You believe that you can only be a father in a biological sense. Moses believed that God is a father, not in a biological sense, but in another sense, and identifies God as father. And so you're saying that Allah doesn't do this. Allah would never do this. Moses, the God of Abraham and the God of Moses, does do this.
No.
So therefore, this is an essential quality that they contradict each other.
No, so I think now you're acknowledging our disagreements about what a true father and true son is. I'm saying the Quran would not have any problem calling taking some properties of fatherhood, right? I'm taking the properties.
I'm not talking about properties of fatherhood. I'm talking about being a father, period.
No, what I just told you, that how can God be a father when he has no companion?
Got you. So therefore, Allah can't be a father without having a companion.
No.
So therefore, that's what you just said. Is that not what you just said?
No. I know the topic, but I'm just saying. Allah is telling you, right, that in order to have
you don't have to do that. Let's keep it simple. Yeah. You just said that Allah can't be a father without a companion. Is that correct?
Of course.
Okay, so Allah can't be a father without a companion.
But logic is
the God of Moses. The God of Moses. It is, if you listen.
Okay.
The God of Moses is a father. Okay? So therefore, this is a core characteristic that is contradictory within Islam and the God of Moses.
Okay.
So Moses can't be a Muslim.
So I think you're right. I concede, right? I concede to something. I have to state something else, right? So here's my point. My point is, as much as the Old Testament claims that the God of Moses claims to be a father, I'm saying that the texts are wrong as well.
You're saying Moses is wrong.
No, I'm saying the texts are incorrect.
Yeah, you're saying Moses, because this is what Moses wrote. You're saying Moses is wrong.
No.
Which is why he's not a Muslim.
Moses, no, not Moses. Whatever was quoted about Moses is wrong.
You mean quoted about Moses? Moses is the one.
It may be man-made. I don't believe that's what it was meant for.
Moses is a man. Of course, it's man-made.
No, I'm saying somebody added someone else than Moses.
All right. What's your evidence for that?
That's the claim, right? The claim is that
you're claiming that this particular, like for example, Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 6, where Moses says that Yahweh is the Father. You are saying that text is corrupted.
Yes.
So then that means that you have a true rendition of the text to show that actually was corrupted and interpolated. So do you have that?
I don't.
So then what basis are you saying that Deuteronomy 32:6, where Moses says Yahweh is the Father, is corrupted when you have no text?
Okay, then I come back. When we evaluate, remember, when somebody claims something, any text, any scripture text claims to be something, we should not just take it for granted. We should evaluate if the claim actually is logical. And God being a father does not mean logical premises at all. And I showed you why.
Well, that's your opinion. Merciful. Sir. That means nothing to this discussion. Let me tell you why. Whether or not you think God being a father is logical or not, it doesn't change what Moses says here. Moses says that God is the Father. You're saying that this is an illogical belief. So therefore, it's not that it's been changed. You just have to say Moses had an illogical belief, and therefore can't be a Muslim.
No. Therefore, the texts are corrupted.
No, you got to show that. For example, I don't think that it's logical for Allah to not be able to have children without a wife. Him needing a wife in order to have a kid. I think that that's illogical.
Okay, let me
thinking that being illogical doesn't mean that that text has been interpolated. That's what the Quran has said and has always said. Just because it says something illogical doesn't change what the text says.
You're saying even if the God having a son is illogical, then what? Sorry?
Let me say this again.
Yeah.
Your Quran states that Allah needs a wife in order to have a son.
Sure.
I think that that's illogical.
Oh.
Because it claims that it claims that God is supposed to be God. So he's not dependent on anything. However, this verse, servant, let it out, okay? This verse shows that Allah is dependent on something outside of himself in order to have a son. That's illogical. However, that's what the verse says. That being an illogical belief and statement doesn't change the fact that the Quran says that's what the text says. It doesn't change it. So saying that, Moses saying that Yahweh is the Father is illogical. So that means the text was corrupted. That does not follow. Okay? The text can have what you say in a logical statement, but the statement is still valid as a text. Doesn't mean it's logical, but as a text.
Okay.
So at best what you have is that Moses had an illogical belief.
Sure.
You have to demonstrate, if you're saying it's corrupted, you have to demonstrate that text is an interpolation, not that it's illogical, but that it has been corrupted.
Okay. Then the question, prove Moses was a Muslim, right? Which Moses, right? And here's the point. I can say, well, yes, I don't believe Moses of the Old Testament is a Muslim because he has a God. He claims his God is a father. Whether it's illogical or not, you're right. You're totally right. I think your logic is actually going in the right way. But I'm gonna resolve this. I'm gonna make the argument better, right? So I'm gonna say that yes, the Moses of the Old Testament is not a Muslim because I agree with you. His God claims to be a father, even though I don't agree that it makes sense as him being a father, but that's what it claims. Therefore, I would say which Moses are you talking about? Is it the Moses of the Old Testament or the Moses of the Quran? How is my position now?
How do you determine who the true Moses is?
You tell me your criteria.
No, this is you, bro. You're the one coming and saying making the division now.
Then I will respond.
Which I agree. How do you determine? Because you have the Quran that's making a claim about Moses.
Sure.
Where do we learn about Moses?
Sure. The way I actually relate that Moses is a Muslim because I believe the Quran is truthful, right?
I know.
I remember.
It's circular reason.
Come back. No, not circular reason. No. Because if you find let me finish. If you prove that the Quran is true independently, brother, just listen to me, right? I'm not telling you because the Quran says it. No, I'm not doing that circular reasoning. I'm saying if we prove the Quran is a revelation from God, right? Mm-hmm. Therefore, whatever it says is true. Would you agree on that or not?
If the Quran got this wrong, would it be and got everything else right, but got this wrong about Moses, got Moses wrong? Is it a revelation from God?
If the Quran is, if we find evidence,
if the Quran got everything else that it claims correct, yet got Moses wrong, what it says about Moses it got incorrect. It's the only thing it got wrong.
Yeah.
Is the Quran a revelation from God?
No, it's not.
Very good.
I will stop being a Muslim.
Very good. So I can even grant you everything in the Quran, even though I don't believe this, but I can grant it to you that for the sake of argument, the Quran got everything right. However, I'm testing this right. I need this to be verified. If it gets this, boom, Quran's a revelation from God.
Sure.
If it gets this wrong, it doesn't matter what else it got right. It's not a revelation from God if it got this thing wrong. So we need to verify this. Verify that what the Quran says about Moses is actually true.
Can I respond to that?
Please.
Okay. First of all, I want to make sure you said something. You said for the sake of argument, I assume everything else is correct. Correct? You said that, right?
I can grant it. I can grant that. It doesn't help you. For the sake of argument, right? For the sake of argument, right? I'm saying what verification they use to do that is important for me. For what?
For those things. How did you verify that those for the sake of argument?
I'm not saying that these things are true. I'm
No, I know, don't
granting
say it, brother,
you for
brother.
the sake
I'm
of
not saying you
argument
do.
that it could be these things. Here, let me just say this again so that we can progress.
No, I think we need to.
I don't believe that nothing in your Quran. I don't believe that what your Quran says about things. I don't believe it's true. I don't believe it's reliable.
I already know that, brother. I know.
Okay,
I know.
good. So then you know that. All right, now let's move forward.
Yeah, but I'm
Your
saying for the
Quran
sake
makes a
of
claim
argument-
about Moses. Excuse me, servant. Your Quran makes a claim about Moses. Verify what it says about Moses. Verify that what it claims about Moses is true.
Okay.
And listen carefully.
Yeah.
Please listen carefully so that I don't have to say this again. Okay, you listening? All right. Even if the Quran got everything else right, if it got this wrong, then it's not a revelation from God, as we already discussed.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that it got everything else right.
So
I don't believe it. You already know I don't. I was saying if I were to grant this to you, it still doesn't prove that the Quran is a revelation from God
Mr. Logic.
if it got this wrong.
Mr. Logic, you're not listening to me, brother. I'm listening to you and you're not. So I'm going to keep this on record. I said, I know you're doing this for the sake of conversation, right? But you assumed, based on the conversation, that everything else in the Quran, if correct, how did you...
I didn't assume anything. Why do you keep saying that?
You're saying for the sake of conversation, for the sake of the argument, right?
I said, if I granted this to you, it still wouldn't prove the Quran's a revelation. Do you understand that?
How would that be possible if you granted? What is the methodology?
There is none, because it's a hypothetical that I'm granting it to you.
No, but you're asking me if you validated one part.
Hey, servant. I'm at my wits' end, bro.
No,
if you can't verify that Moses was the historical Moses and what the Quran says about Moses, I'm gonna go ahead and just move on. Okay.
Okay.
Can you do that? Can you do that starting from here or no?
Here is the point. The Quran has been verified to be the word of God. Therefore,
no, it hasn't.
Okay. Now here's my question: if we do that, if we verify the Quran is the word, would you agree that Moses?
You can't verify it if it doesn't. If you can't verify this,
I'm asking you if
you can't. You can't.
You are not allowed yourself to answer a hypothesis, right?
All right, so you're going back to circular reasoning. All right, thanks, bro. Thank you. Thanks for coming. I like servant though. We have our disagreements. I do like him though. The shuffling around, the tap dancing, you can only take so much, but I do like him. All right, so this guy's not ready. What do you want?
Oh, how I get on stage? How I get up here? I was just chilling on my laptop, man.
Shoot.
You done moved over to Moses, huh?
Moved over to Moses, man. The Jesus one is dead. We killed that. Now let's go over to Moses. This Jesus one is easier. We killed that. Slick, you got you have an echo. I don't know if you have me playing in the background or something. I muted you, but try to fix that and then unmute your mic so you can talk. And hopefully you are a mu'minun. Guys, only request if you're a Muslim. I see a lot of requests here that aren't Muslims. I see crosses in profiles. I see a Hebrew name. You guys aren't Muslims, so please don't request. All right? So
Can you hear me now?
All right. Yeah, I hear myself in the background now.
Can you hear me now?
Alright. Yeah, I hear myself in the background now. Can you hear me now? Alright. Yeah, I hear myself in the background now.
Oh, it's echo.
M. Pacheco, how you doing?
Hi, how are you? It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry, I just realized that I'm not a Muslim, but you said only if you're a Muslim. So if you want to kick me out, by all means, go ahead.
All right. God bless you, brother.
Bye.
Yeah, guys, only hit the request button if you are a Muslim. If you have accidentally requested, maybe that's something that's happening right now, just go ahead and push the withdraw request button. Hit the withdraw request button or the X or cancel request, whatever it is.
Peace. Brother,
How you doing?
big man, it's been a while, bro. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, it's been a while.
So, new topic you got on, yeah?
It's old, but I'm bringing it back.
Okay.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
how do you want this to be answered? Just so I kind of understand.
By using a reliable source to show what Moses actually believed and taught, and see if his teachings and his practices fit being a Muslim.
When you say Muslim, what do you mean by Muslim?
One who believes and submits to the concept of the God of the Quran, Allah specifically.
Okay, fantastic. So the one who submits his will to the will of God, yeah?
No, the will of Allah of the Quran specifically.
Yeah, Allah, God. Whatever you're naming them. Okay. So you're saying that it's not the different, yeah?
Say that again?
You're saying that the different gods, yeah? You're saying there's two gods.
Yeah, the God of the Quran is the different God of, the previous scriptures. Definitely.
Okay. I'm trying to think how I can kind of approach this with you so it can be fruitful rather than just being,
I appreciate that.
a slogging fest. You know how it is.
A lot of people don't come up here and think first. So I do appreciate this.
I know with you, I've got to be very careful because you're going to have the Quran in front of you and you're going to speak from the Quran as well. So,
That's right.
have you got any verses that you want to bring forward so I can maybe look at it first?
Well, we can go with this angle. We know some core characteristics of Allah, right? That the Quran describes. He's one in his essence. He's not an idol or anything like that. He doesn't beget, nor is he begotten. He's not a father to anyone. He's only your master. There's nothing like him. So these are some core characteristics that we know about Allah. He's not multi-personal, right? Even though he's one Allah, he's not multi-personal. He's only one singular person and one singular being, one singular essence. So these are some core things we know about Allah. So what we need to do is demonstrate that Moses shared these same beliefs. He shared the same concept of God, that God is not a father in any sense. He doesn't beget, nor is he begotten. He's unlike his creation. He's all, you can only come to him as a servant or slave, not as sons or anything else. And that he's not multi-personal.
I think me and you kind of clarified this last time because when I asked you, when you say father, do you mean biological? And I think you replied no. And then that opens the realm of how you want to describe the Father in heaven.
Well, I say any sense. I usually say I ask in any sense to cover all bases, whether it's biological, spiritual, metaphorical, and any sense. And Allah is not a father in any sense. I think you would agree, right?
Depends, innit? If you remember when we had that conversation last time, if you wanted to say he's a father, well, the father in heaven, then yeah, I told you last time I don't have a problem with that.
You said you have no problem with him being the father in heaven?
Well, why? No, the father, yeah, just to clarify, no begotten sons, the one created God. If you want to call him a non-biological father, like last time we discussed this, we said, yeah, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
Is that one of his names?
I think you were surprised last time as well, to be fair.
Okay. Is that one of his names?
We'd have to look into the entire attributes of his names.
Oh, the answer to that
So
is
many
no.
ways. Look and see. You know how it is, isn't it? When you look at the attributes, then you can approach the attribute with the English language. Then you're gonna have to use many descriptions. So if you was to use the description of father in one of them attributes, then I'm not gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, but the answer to the question is no. Father is not one of his attributes or names. And the Quran says this. The Quran says, Ibn Hikmah killing me. The Quran says in chapter 7, verse 180, that Allah has the most beautiful names and you can only call him by those and do not deviate from his names. And those who do so, they are of the wrongdoers. It's chapter 7, verse 180. So you cannot deviate from the names that Allah has. And so since Father is not one of them, you would be deviating if you were to identify him as the Heavenly Father.
Well, they're not his names, are the attributes, aren't they? This is what I'm explaining to you. So if it's an attribute, to explain the attribute in Arabic to English, you would be required to probably use a couple of words in English in order to understand the essence of that particular attribute. And like I said, if you was to use a couple of words and you added the word father in there and understanding there was non-biological, like I said to you last time.
The Quran calls them names, brother.
They're not names, brother. They're attributes. Even Allah.
So
Allah,
being the most merciful is not one of his...
The word Allah, even that's not his name. That's, again, an attribute.
Allah's
anyway, so let's move on from there. So let's go back to Moses now, yeah?
No,
because now
this is
we've
important.
understood.
We haven't understood anything. Now I'm more confused than I was before. So you said that Allah is not his name; that's an attribute of his. Okay.
Yeah,
so when it calls him the most gracious, the most merciful, are those are not attributes. Names of his?
No, they're attributes.
Okay. So what are his names then? Give me a couple.
You just read the verse, so I don't need to. You read the verse in English, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it said it says he has the most beautiful names. Call them. Call him by them.
Stop there.
What are
you call him by the most beautiful names. That's it, bro.
No, it says he has the most beautiful names, and you are to call him by those.
So you can call him. So you can call him by.
Kitab, I need you to hold on, bro. I need you to listen to the verse.
Okay.
Allah has the most beautiful names. So call him by those and do not deviate from his names. So there are names that he has that are specific and you cannot deviate from them. You can't call him names that he is not. So is Father one of his names?
I'm going to answer exactly the same way as I did, my brother. And if it's not going to work, then I can leave. It's not a problem. You know how it is. We're peaceful.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
Shall I go?
Yeah.
Okay, top man. Future soon.
Whew. This is tough, man. Being a Muslim. Hold on. I actually got to write this down, actually. 2025, right? I gotta write this down in my 2025 book. Allah is not Allah's name. What's today's date? The 21st? The 21st. Life, you there?
Yeah.
What you think about that, man? You ever heard that before? Allah's not his name. You think that's something worth writing down in the 2025 book?
Absolutely. We get, hey man, we get quotes. So you probably gonna have about 500 quotes by the end of the year, man.
Dude. I'm on page 3 now, man. Page
Don't
3.
forget, bro. You can believe in Muhammad and say he was a liar.
Alright, welcome back, guys. I believe that was an amazing one. Let us know your views in the comment section, what you were able to learn. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family. Subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. How they always come behaving like they are different from the rest, and at the end they become the same people they criticize. It baffles me a lot. This shows that a Muslim is a Muslim regardless of how they choose to appear. A truthful Muslim is already an ex-Muslim. The way the text of the Quran is structured, Muslims need their own interpretation for it when it goes against Islamic or their personal belief. So they have to give it a different meaning to make it appeal to their own argument. In one sentence, he said the God of Moses is the God of Abraham and also the God of Muhammad. But when he was proven wrong, then he turned around to tell us that the God of Moses is no longer the God of Muhammad, making him a liar and inconsistent person instantly. So I don't know why they keep on doing that to themselves. If Allah cannot have a son without a partner, then he's not all powerful. Period. There is no two ways about it. It is as simple as that. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Share it with your friends, your family. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Thank you for watching. We would love to see you in our next one.